I'm Eden.
And I'm Sav.
Welcome to the Stay Focused podcast, where we talk to business owners about their journeys and how they got started.
They share the best parts and the worst parts of business ownership, offer their business advice, and we get all of their funny mishap stories.
We do this podcast because your story matters, so stay focused.
So we'd be like the best DJs of all time?
So I was getting married and I found the wood flowers and I started seeing home decor. And I'm like, I can do that and I can pioneer it here.
In this scenario, the cake is cut at the beginning. Hey, Stay Focused. Welcome back. As you can see, I'm sorry, you were going to say something?
It's okay.
Okay.
Keep going.
On the table in front of us are some very beautiful flowers and some very horrible flowers. You will find out who did which ones if you watch the whole episode. But I guess you can take a guess that the professional did some of these and we did the others. And that professional is Celeste from Heavenly Sola Designs. She makes wood flowers and they're beautiful. And we tried and it was hard.
It was really hard. And I had no clue what these were going to feel like. Oh, you did tell me that they were still wet and I still picked it up.
All over our fingies.
But the craziest part was not knowing like the texture. And we do go back and forth between texture a little bit. So you don't think of wood being like soft and papery feeling, but this is, it doesn't feel like wood. So the name's tricky.
And we talked a lot about why these might be a good alternative over like fresh flowers and how she got her business started in the first place. And it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
She showed us a bunch of different techniques while we pondered some moral dilemmas.
Mm-hmm.
So
can't wait for y'all to watch this episode. So I didn't get to interview you at all. So I have no clue what's really going on. I see flowers. We've got a paint set up. So talk to me a little bit about what you do.
Okay, so I have a floral business. I specialize in wood flowers. And every time someone is like, oh, good, what's that? Well, they're flowers made out of wood.
So do you make them?
I don't. That's kind of like the biggest question I get asked the most. I do buy them in like flower form.
Okay.
They'll come in like an ivory, and then I airbrush paint, stem and arrange them.
Okay.
So I tell everyone like 90%, 95% is me.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So, you buy wooden flowers. I can't wait to feel one, but I have so many questions.
Yeah.
Like, are they soft? Are they hard? Are they stiff? Yeah, I have there's a lot
I
of
bet
questions.
the people watching are so
So
jealous.
these are different.
So these are soft.
No, not right now. So everyone says they feel like, okay, let me backtrack. People expect wood to be hard, right?
Yeah, yes.
But these kind of feel like paper, styrofoam-y.
Yeah.
It's a very lightweight wood. It's Sola wood. But whenever we paint them, we do add glycerin and I soften them up. So they become softer than that.
Oh.
I brought one that's softer than one that's already painted.
Oh, hey, this
pretty. Feels like, so hear me out, everyone. Everyone that's been to California, which the trees might also be in places not in California, but their bark, like you just peel it. It's like paper bark.
Maybe I haven't been. So these are like native to like India.
Oh.
So, but they do. It is the bark. It's the bark. They shave, they cut, roll. And if you look at the bottom, they're like tied with like a rope.
No, it's softer.
Or a twine. So sometimes when we open them up, they'll come undone.
It feels the same.
It's softer. It is so much softer.
Okay,
hold them both
just
at
try
once.
to tear one.
What?
And see the difference.
No.
Chill.
Just the fragileness.
Literally, it feels the same.
No,
it does not.
It feels the same.
It does not.
The expert's telling me it's not, and then there's Sav. Oh.
They'll come back. Water makes it flexible, and this one is a little more fragile, and some are torn. But you'll fix it when you paint them.
You broke it.
No, you'll fix it.
Okay.
Maybe I'm just like feeling the texture, and that's what.
Okay, try to do this.
You got like really, it was like shock factor for you.
Try to do this with both of them. You'll be able to feel that this one's way stiffer.
Okay, great, but I said soft.
It's still softer than wood.
We're talking about stiffness.
Seems like your definitions are all
I wasn't.
different.
It answered my question.
It is softer than regular wood. So when people do come and touch it, they're like, oh, it's soft because it is softer than wood.
So where do you buy these?
So I actually buy them from American manufacturers.
Okay.
I am not quite at the stage where I can go ahead and get them imported on crates. Ideally, I would like to do that. I'm just not there yet.
Yeah.
But at this point, I have like cases and cases of. I recently just spent a lot of money for like. I did a giveaway on my Facebook page on like everyone to guess how many flowers I had bought because I started buying in wholesale cases. Do you want to guess how many it was?
Yes, 60,000.
Oh, less.
You overshot it.
I know.
That was my guess.
Some people's guesses were like 6,000, but it was higher.
34,986.
Still less. It was like 24,000, maybe 756-ish, 786.
That's a lot of flowers.
Yeah, and you gotta think about it, they're all in my house. Because I work in my house too.
That's the next question I was going to ask. So do you eventually want to have like just doing ASMR over here for you guys. Do you eventually want to have a warehouse?
Yeah, so I think I'm kind of working on my garage starting to turn into that scenario.
Okay, that's cool.
I did have a small storefront. It really wasn't a store. It was like office space with like not very much traction. So we moved everything back home and my house is completely overtaken.
Yeah.
I work in all areas of my house.
Wait, so how many years have you been doing this?
This is my 4th year.
4th year. And are you the only one like in the West Texas region that does do this?
As far as I know, I have talked to people who's like might have DIY'd for their wedding. I am the only one in like the area. So I call myself like Lubbock's first full wood floral florist. Like I'm a wood flower florist.
Okay.
On Lubbock's first. And when I started the business, I kind of did go full time in it, knowing that I was going to pioneer it here. Because like we were saying earlier, Lubbock is so slow to everything that over time I knew that by the time it's a thing and people are hearing about it, I've already been here and been established, and it would have been me.
What made you think of it then? Like if it's something that hasn't been around here, like what gave you the idea?
So I was getting married. And I was looking for alternative fresh cut flowers, and I found the wood flowers, and I joined Facebook groups because you join there's a million groups, and I thought I was going to be learning just how to do like wedding bouquets and stuff for the wedding, and I started seeing home decor and all kinds of things, and I'm like, oh, I could do that. Oh, I could do that. And as I just kept scrolling, because you know when you first join a group, it like shows up on your feed more. I just kept seeing all the things that I could do, and I'm like, oh, like I can do that and I can pioneer it here. Because at the time I had just quit teaching and I was in a state of like, what am I doing with my life?
Okay, so you were getting married and so you decided to do the wood flower route over
fresh cut,
and the trend is starting to also be like fake flowers too to preserve things.
Are you saying back then or right now?
Back then.
I don't know what the trend was because I didn't know anything about that world. I honestly didn't even look into fresh cut flowers or get any quote from florists. I don't even know what fresh cut florists do for proposals or quotes now. I honestly have no idea because I didn't go that route. I just knew I wasn't going to spend thousands of dollars on things that die. And so I found the wood flowers, and my first order was essentially for me to do my wedding, but I did get extra so that I could try making some things and see how it goes.
So you were looking at it, you decided, I could do that. Was your original thought like as a business or like, so did you always see yourself as a business owner?
No.
That was just all of a sudden?
I never knew what I wanted to do. I went to court. Okay, I was very like sheltered. I feel like my mom didn't let me do anything. And so I just knew because I couldn't do anything, I just wanted to work. So I got my first job at 16, worked. And then in high school, like I was in all the AP classes, all the things. One of my classes was we had to apply for colleges, and literally I was so naive. I didn't know tech was here. I did not know tech was here. I thought everyone just goes to South Plains.
Okay.
That's all I thought.
What high school did you go to?
Coronado.
Okay.
It was very different. High school was really hard because everyone is a specific like group of people. And I didn't really fit in with that group, so I was very like alone. But I was in all the AP classes. I did all the same things as them, and I just thought you go to South Plains. Well, no. In one of those classes, we applied to tech, or we applied to college. So I applied to tech. I got in. I actually got a full scholarship.
Wow. That's
to
awesome.
tech. Not from tech, through independent like donation or donor foundation here.
It's awesome.
But I had no idea what I wanted to do. And my mom's like, you can do public relations. You can use it for anything. And I'm like, okay. I did nothing with that degree. You don't know what you can, but not for Lubbock back then.
Yeah.
I graduated in 2012. So like, unless I was going to move somewhere or had an internship or had something lined up, or you're going straight to a nonprofit and you're working pretty much for free, like,
Yeah.
what was I didn't have a plan.
Right.
So then years go by and I'm like, well, if I don't know what else I'm going to do, I'll go back to school and be a teacher. So I went back to school, got my degree, and started teaching. And I thought, this is my job forever. And well,
Here you are.
here I am. I just never knew what I wanted to do ever.
Yeah.
And I've had so many jobs. This is the longest I've had a job. I've always switched jobs because I'm the kind of person where I like to learn, I like to grow. So if I ever felt like I was somewhere where I wasn't
stagnant.
growing, I don't want to be there. And if I'm with people that are also like limiting, I don't want to be there.
So what was your like initial thought when you decided I can make this a business? Were you like intimidated? Were you excited? Like what was the thought process in it?
I think anyone that asks like starting a business, it seems so glamorous, but it is so hard. It is hard, and you have no idea all the work that goes behind it. So at the time, I think I'm just like, oh, I can pioneer.
do this.
I'm a pioneer, and it's going to be a big old thing. And essentially, what I had in mind did happen. It was just very, very hard,
So
and
many
I didn't
extra
know.
steps that you didn't know. But yeah.
So many things I didn't know.
So if you could go back to then, knowing everything you know now, would you do anything differently?
I wish I would have had money to like really invest. Or, anyone that is trying to like transition to starting a business, I think it's important that you have money to live on before you get into it.
Very wise.
Because you're not going to start making money like you I still don't make a lot of money. Like me personally, the business makes money, I don't. You know what I mean?
Right.
It takes a really long time for you to get to the point where you're like, oh, I'm finally like, it's not a regular job where you have an income and you know it's coming and you get paid for the same, you know what I mean? It's not like that. So I would make sure that you have money, like you have financial support to get it going, because you're going to struggle. And if you can't get through that struggle, it's not going to last.
Yeah.
So how did you overcome that?
Faith, honestly.
Yeah.
There's certain points I think you question all the time. What am I doing I need to quit. Like it's kind of, you just question a lot. And then you get to a certain point where for me personally, it was a very God faith journey for me. And he put me to a lot of tests, and I think I'm finally over those tests. So now I'm like, oh, I believe in this 1,000% now, and I'm good. Like I'm good now.
That's awesome.
I'm interested, one, what we got going on here on the table. It looks
Is it
really
Topo
fun and really
Chico?
nice. I do know what that is. So, and I can tell that this looks like some type of paint thing. These are like little bowl things.
I thought that was shampoo.
So this segment of the show is called Ponder and Paint. It's alliteration because they both start with the letter P, which is really cool.
Thank you for explaining
As
that.
a former teacher, thank you. I didn't know that.
Some people out there might not know
Alliteration.
that. So, anyway, so I guess what we're doing is you're going to show us how to do that. You guys are all going to paint flowers, and in the lulls, I'm going to present some moral dilemmas. Because whenever we had when we saw Celeste last, we were talking about the trolley problem, which was the 5 people on one track, 1 person on another track. You're in control of which track the trolley goes on. That's it, right? And we're like, we got pretty heated about it. So I was like, we're going to ask
it wasn't like
They got in a fist
control
fight.
by choice. It wasn't control by choice, Okay, so you'll like dip it.
Whoa, she's just getting in there. She's just going for it.
Yeah. You'll dip it in there.
How do you get it off your hands? Does it
I
come
brought
off
baby
easily?
wipes for you. Yes, it's just paint. You're gonna open it. So this is very much like a rose. So you'll do the outside petals and you'll start opening them. Look, it's not fully covered. I need more paint, but it's cool. And you'll start opening them. So you use your fingers to open. Don't be scared. There's baby wipes.
I want to touch it.
So just
Can
go?
I touch it?
Just
Yeah.
go?
Not like that, Eden. No.
Stop.
Yeah. And you'll open it. You might want to be closer while you're just messing with that paint over there.
Someone come get her. Levi, where are you at, Levi?
There you go. So open them. So whenever I train my girls, I do have a few employees. I'm really big on quality and full coverage. So if there's torn petals, we're gonna tear them because I don't like any torn flowers. I kind of imagine if you were going to the store and then you went home and saw that your flowers were like anything you bought was torn or scratched, you're like, ugh. So I don't ever want anyone to feel that way.
Here's something to think on while y'all are doing this. If you can, do both at once.
Yeah, I think we can.
Okay, you're on a road trip and come to a fork. One road leads to a guaranteed great time with all your favorite activities, but it's exactly like your last vacation. The other road is a complete mystery, maybe fantastic, maybe terrible. Which road do you take?
I've never been on a vacation.
I'm ready. I take the mystery.
I would take the mystery. I've never been on a vacation, so I didn't.
You've never been on a cruise before?
You're just discount.
That was my honeymoon. That doesn't count.
Cruises are like the best.
It's a vacation.
Okay, then I would do that again. But,
so all you're doing is just dipping. You got to open them. And so all the little crevices.
I'm trying to see if I can get all the crevices without opening it.
She's like, I've done this for 4 years. You can't.
You're doing it the wrong way.
I'm just having a good time, I'm going to be honest.
So we're like really opening them wide.
Yeah, well, you don't have to.
Like how much opening?
Whatever you want. Some people like their roses open. Some people want them a little more closed. But I just make sure that there's no crevices that are not painted.
Eden, you're pretty quiet. Are you unable to do both at the same time?
You're
what do you
doing
want me
a
to
great
say?
job.
I just want to know what your answer is. Are you the type to go on the trip that you've been on before that you love everything about?
What do you think my answer is?
That's a good question. I think the same old, same old.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I would say, yeah. Also,
She's
I
like,
plan.
I have kids and a business, so
Yeah,
like if
you
I'm
like
on a
the familiar.
vacation, I'm lucky.
You know what?
Well, because,
And
yeah, you want the vacation to be a
I
vacation.
plan pretty wild vacations, so I wouldn't mind reliving some of them.
Like which one?
No, they're not
She
wild.
can't remember any of them. They were so wild.
I do
so
love
wild.
cruising though. Cruises are like the best.
I've
I've
never
been
been.
wanting to go on a cruise so bad.
The best.
And nobody wants to go with me. I'm going to just go by myself. You know what? What's
Okay,
next?
you find a little genie who can grant one of 2 wishes.
One of 2?
Yeah, or the pet, a magical pet. We'll say pet. So one of 2 wishes. One being endless luck and finding money on the ground, or the ability to perfectly remember everything you've ever read.
Perfectly. Absolutely.
Everything I've
money
read.
on the ground.
I don't care about money. I want to know everything.
I want to know everything. I like knowing things too.
I have a problem
I think I
with
had to take off all the
accessing-
petals because I broke them all.
I know. The closer you get to the... Was that funny?
This is hard.
The closer you
He
get...
loves me not.
You make it look so easy.
Well, 4 years. You're good.
I can't get it off.
So the more I will say, you dipped yours like a lot, and so now it's become a little bit harder to tear.
Dang it.
So just
ruined
try closing
Look
it
how
back up.
terrible this looks.
Good. Just try closing it back up.
And I think it's cool.
I have
But I'm a
brushes
boy.
for you if it makes you feel
Look,
better.
this is hard. If anyone thought this was going to be easy...
Is really hard. Like this can't just be.
Look how pretty.
This can't just be a hobby.
This is why you're the only one that does this in Lubbock. Because, oh my goodness.
So I have a painting specialist.
Look what I
She
did.
loves it because she loves
Look at
painting.
mine.
This is so sad.
Okay, look at mine.
Yeah, yours
See?
is
Just kidding.
Show the camera.
perfect.
Oh, can the camera see
Well,
mine?
And I have paint all over. You know, this is
It's
just...
okay. Y'all did good. Listen, I think this about anything. Like, you can't expect to be good when you just tried something for the first time.
Well,
like, it takes
she's
time.
a 3,
Hi.
so she wants to give
takes
up
time.
if the moment something doesn't work, right?
I thought 3
It's a
was an
very 3
achiever.
thing.
It is.
Yeah,
an
that's why
achiever.
3s
So
don't
when
do
you-
things
Oh,
that
me. Are
they
you talking
can't
about
do.
me?
Are you a 3?
I don't know. I'm an achiever.
I think it's a 3.
That's the thing is like 3s will avoid trying things that they know they'll fail at so that they
Oh,
can
no, I
achieve.
don't avoid trying things I'll fail at. I'm going to keep on doing it until I get it right or do my best.
I have a
Well,
little
maybe
bit
you
of motivation,
developed
but not
that.
that much.
Quality.
I
Maybe
do
you're a
have that
3
quality, and like slightly, I get annoyed at some people who just don't try. Not saying I don't try. I'm saying people who are like easy things, like, oh, it's over here. Like, go look for something, and like, oh, I didn't see it, and I'm like, okay, did you really try?
Yeah, did you?
It's
Things
like the
like
whole
that.
when you say, "Hey, raise your hands as high as you can," and they just put their hands up.
Kinda
Like,
half
you
like
could
that,
have
like,
stood up. You
or-
could have got on your chair. You could have like.
I
Yeah,
would have
I just-
literally done that. Like
Yeah.
that's me.
I'm a-
It's like
I'm
you didn't
a-
do it as high as you could. You're not answering the question.
I'm
You're
an
not
all-in
thinking.
person for sure, though.
Yeah.
Look, I did it better this time.
Good job.
Ta-da-da.
Yay! Y'all did good.
Look,
That looks great.
I like that color.
You ever had any flower-related injuries? Any paper cuts?
Not
Wood
painting,
splinters?
but like I definitely have stabbed myself with this. Oh, actually, I feel like I have weekly things, cuts, box cutters, stabs, burns, glue burns, all the things. I did have a bridal bouquet set on fire one time. It was full of pampas, and I was already finished, already sent her photos. And
Oh no.
when I went to wrap it, like I get a lighter to fray the ends of the
Yeah.
pampas caught on fire. Oh, it was a whole thing. It caught on fire. It's really sad.
That
Wow.
is sad.
I mean, I remade it, but I don't
so
know.
that can be bought with wood too? Like, or
What?
that's made
The-
with
the
wood?
pampas?
Pampas, yeah.
No.
Oh,
just
no.
the flowers.
Okay, when you say pampas, I'm looking
Pampas
at
grass.
Pampers right
No,
there, and I'm
pampas.
thinking, what is it?
Pampas grass is like that big, fluffy,
Those
like
I
fall.
have them in my house.
You'll start
Okay,
seeing it
okay.
everywhere now. But yeah, pampas is that big, fluffy,
They're so pretty.
catches on fire.
How did you clean your hands so fast? It's not coming off.
Well, I
of me.
really worked at it.
We can get another one. Yeah, that caught on fire. I think the saddest thing about that one was she lived in an area where I think that's where all the wildfires ended up happening. So it was like kind of ominous, like
So close to
Yeah.
home.
isn't
Yeah.
it? Like, it ended up being later and later. But that's
Terrible
like
timing.
up north, but Canadian area ish. Yeah, so it was kind of like that's really
That's weird.
Weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
that happened.
So, what has been the hardest part of being a business owner?
Everything. I think everything. You have to learn everything. I like learning things, but I guess also, I think the hardest thing is always feeling alone in things. I think business owners feel alone in general because you just go through so much that other people, everyone wants to depict, and that's what you see on social media. It's like everything's so beautiful and wonderful, but like it's hard. It really is hard, and you feel alone. And you try to have conversations with people who don't really understand what you're doing. And then for me, it's even like an extra because people don't do this at all.
Yeah.
So like I have less people who really understand my day to day
Yeah.
and anything that I do.
Just like high school.
Yeah.
What's the most rewarding part?
Oh, everything. Did I say everything on both?
Yeah.
Everything.
So it's you, and how many more people do you have that come and help
So
you?
I have a painting specialist,
Okay.
I have a wedding specialist, and I have a team member.
That's awesome.
And I group interviewed people this morning because I'm hiring
Oh,
another team
cool.
member
Wow.
and another wedding specialist.
So your wedding specialist, is that, what job does that look like?
So everything on the weddings, they do paint as well. They'll pull wedding flowers, paint wedding flowers, and we do everything wedding. So bouquets,
Okay.
corsages, boutonnieres,
I really wish I knew about you
arches,
for my wedding.
Everything. I hear that a lot.
Oh, you do
too.
arches? That's so
All
cool.
the things, centerpieces,
Anything floral,
flower
you do it.
crown, anything
Oh, how
floral is what I tell
fun.
people.
Okay. I
Yeah.
love that.
Okay, I ordered a wood flower crown from Etsy for my wedding. I really wish I knew you were here.
Yeah, I hear that a lot too. Just
Guess
people
what,
just say
Lubbock,
I
she's
don't.
here.
Yeah, I think also that's kind of a really big struggle for me too. Is that people don't know I exist. So I just want people to know I exist.
How do you market? Do you go out and network with like all of the wedding venues here?
Yeah, so
And-
I'm actually a preferred vendor for Everly Brooks and
Yeah.
Horseshoe Knot.
Okay.
The thing with wood flowers is like you either want them or you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like
But why wouldn't you want them? Because one, they look identical. Two, you can make them any color.
yes, whatever color you want, whatever season, whatever flowers. And if you have a good photographer, disclaimer, they look gorgeous in photos.
Yeah.
Like they photograph
Well,
beautifully.
because the color is from the paint is going to make it pop so much more. Do people ask you like, okay, so what's your price point? Like, why would I go with you over?
I think the most thing, it's either, okay, so there's two caveats to that.
Okay.
Some people want it because of the product, because it's custom. And that's kind of what I cater to. It's custom. You'll
Yeah.
be able to keep it.
Yeah.
That's my product, like marketing. But some people will come thinking it's just automatically cheaper than fresh cut floral because
That's
it's
not
not
always the
real
case.
and not necessarily because
Okay.
it's a lot of work.
But like,
Yeah.
Picking flowers and arranging them is way less work than this.
And what if?
I feel
what if?
Price point for this, I would assume, is way more than fresh cut flowers because this is hard.
It don't die.
And it doesn't die and you keep it forever.
I keep it comparable. I try to.
What if you are doing fresh flowers and, you know, you've waited till, I don't know, 3, 4, or 5 weeks out. And then what if those flowers are not in season? I know that's not the right word, but what if there's a shortage of red
Things
roses?
happen.
Yeah. So I
and
mean,
colors
like this
change.
would make it.
I do follow a lot of fresh florist accounts because it's a lot of inspiration.
Yeah.
But I do see things about like when they order specific flowers or seasons
Like
or
it's-
colors, some things in the same box are a little bit different color or things change. Like you
Interesting.
can't completely predict. Also, the way I don't know how fresh cut florists do anything. Honestly, I don't. But I also think that when they budget out for brides, they budget on budgets and then kind of buy in preparation for that and disperse it. And then I think flowers cost and things change. So by the time you actually get to that wedding, it might be different. And for me, like I know what my materials cost. Like I know how much time it takes me.
Your price will not change.
Yeah, my price is based on what I do, how long it takes me, what I can do for you. If it's a premium flower and I'm airbrushing or it's a more expensive flower, I add that in. If there's embellishments, I add it in. If it's like pampas or something that's I know costs more, I add it in. So
do you, how long does it take you to make like, let's say like a bouquet?
It depends. Every bouquet is different. I have certain styles and then I have like, I don't know, some things are easier than others. And like different, if I have, like this past week was my biggest wedding and we added in some really beautiful preserved eucalyptus. And it was actually very hard working with that because you have to like, there's a style that she wanted is different. And so, and then the greenery and things she picked didn't make the boutonnieres look as nice as I would like them because that's what she picked. So it's kind of like, I'm very, very custom when I bring brides in. We pick the flowers, we pick the colors, we pick the greenery, we pick the fillers. Like they pick what color their father's boutonniere is. They pick what color, like, you know what I mean? They pick all the things.
How do you deal with like the pressure of weddings? Because I just feel like that's so scary because it's like the biggest day of their life.
I'm a very proactive person. I don't ever want to hear that there was an issue. And then I'm like, oh my God, I got to fix it. What happened? Or I didn't know. I am not that person. I want to do everything I can to make sure you're happy. So I send brides approval. So I get all of their information. Like I make sure that we're picking together, or if it's designer choice and they're cool with that too. I get vibes. But I do know what they like, what they want. And then I send photos for approval. And if I change anything, like there was one bride, I changed it 3 times. I remade her bouquet 3 times. That doesn't really ever happen. But for her, hers wasn't one of my styles. It was a free, hers was a heart. Hers was different anyways. Everything's different. Cascades take a long time. Some cascades take me 2 to 3 hours. Those are the ones that take me the longest.
Bless.
Thank you.
So cascades cost the most.
What is that?
A cascade is where you hold it right here and it goes all the way down.
Oh.
So did you ever feel that pressure like at the very beginning, like when you first opened? Like your very first wedding that you did? Like what was that like?
I'm happy that someone chose me. And back then that bouquet was probably like $70. Now they're like $200, like they're in the $200-300s. But like back then I'm learning, like it's you get what you pay for. And I think now you look back at your work before and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so much better now.
Yeah.
But back then, like it's still the same thing. No matter who you choose, you get what you pay for. And so I was $70 for me back then. And now it's $200 because I'm very well like confident in my abilities.
Obviously. Look at how
I'm confident in my
marvelous.
abilities
Do you
now.
market just to weddings or do you also do
No.
funerals?
Yeah, no, I don't specifically go and market. If it's people follow me and then they request things. So I make things, I'm very, like, again, everything is very custom. So I am full custom on making what people want.
Have you ever made anything that you hated that they loved?
Yeah, I do that for, not that I hate it, but like, that's not my style.
Yeah.
Like,
It's not what you would have picked.
it's not for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
But they loved it.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
That's what people, because
I
people
feel like
like
that's
different things.
Yeah, I feel like that's a skill in and of itself to be able to make stuff that's not something that you would necessarily like but you end up bringing their vision to life.
When I think about the whole business, because there's times in the business where you're like, do I want to shift my model? Do I want to shift how I'm doing things? I could very well just sell like painted kits, DIY to brides, make so much money. I could just have one product and replicate it and sell it like on Etsy over and over. Like there's lots of things you could do to like make money quick. Yeah. But for me, like I really want everything to be fully custom. Yeah. And for that, there's no quick, replicable, over and over scenario. Mm-hmm. It is very custom, very customer oriented. And like, I want to keep my business that way all the time. Yeah. Like, I just want to serve. A lot of these pieces mean things to people. Like, even if it's a bridal bouquet and they add that flower for the mom who passed or their aunt, or if it's a sympathy arrangement and it's in their home and, you know, that was all their flowers died at the funeral or went down, they have that one arrangement for them. You know what I mean? Or like same thing when there's just so much more meaning to these flowers that I think they're so good. Or cancer patients, they get the flowers too. Like they have, you know what I mean? There's a lot. Like they're nice. They're such good gifts.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Y'all ready to ponder and paint some more?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to present you with the birthday cake problem. You have a birthday cake to share with a group of people, but one person arrives late. Do you cut the cake and give everyone a fair share, knowing that the latecomer might not get a piece? Or do you wait, potentially frustrating everyone who's already there?
I am always the type to wait, and then it always ends up bad. So I think I would just not wait.
This would be the first time.
I'm also like the one who's always late, so that's kind of on them.
Why is the cake being cut at the beginning? Like, isn't it cut at the end when everyone's already there?
Right. That's not part of the question.
In this scenario, the cake is cut at the beginning.
Yeah.
Or they were just so late.
Oh, I already like messed up.
Because a lot of people have to duck out early.
You cut the cake for everybody that's there. You don't make people wait. I don't like waiting. I don't know. I don't like waiting.
Every time I'm at a restaurant and like other people get their food first, I'm like, just eat your food. I don't want your food to get cold and then I'm going to feel bad because you're waiting on me. It's like you're putting that pressure on me.
Yeah, until you paint the petal.
I will say, okay, so I'm going to answer from both sides. I don't want to make people wait, so we'll cut the cake. But also, if I'm the last person to arrive, I'm going to feel so bad that everybody waited on me.
Yeah, why wouldn't we just save them a piece?
Oh, here's mini ones. I thought
sacrifice your own piece. That's the right answer, actually.
Why wouldn't we just save them a piece?
Cute. Well, I mean, yeah. You just cut the cake and whoever... Okay, also, on a side note, I don't like cake. So the cake really is already for everybody else.
And have you ever thought about painting cakes?
And you don't have to take it.
Also, like, I feel like it's rare at a party for people to eat the whole cake. Like, for the whole cake to be gone. There's always some left over.
I'd rather get extra food than dessert.
Same, actually.
Cakes are overrated.
Okay. A genie offers you one of two wishes, kind of like the last one.
There you go. Easy.
Either you can become the best at a skill of your choice, like cooking, singing, or sports, but only when no one is watching. Or you can be mediocre at that skill, but with everyone believing you're the best. Which do you choose?
Believing you're the best?
I don't like that. I don't like either.
Like,
why would you be the best
but
in
everyone
private?
believes you are?
You'd be the best in private or mediocre in public, but everybody thinks you're the best.
I actually think I'd like to be the best in private.
I don't even have to have people think I'm the best. I'd rather be mediocre in public than the best in private. Because what else are you sharing with the world if you're not, like, sharing anything? Why
well, I mean,
private?
yeah, and like, what is that? So, like, if you're going to
though.
create something in private, but then give it out in public, then it's like...
But, like, it's therapeutic to be able to do something that you're good at while you're by yourself.
Or you're a slave to it and it drives you insane.
Yeah, like you're just locked up in a house, and you're just painting all the walls, and you got the best painted house in the world, but no one ever sees it. What's the point in that?
For yourself.
Internal.
You could do stuff for yourself. Like I paint stuff for myself that no one ever sees, or like I play music that no one ever hears, and it's just like therapeutic for me.
I just rather share with the world.
What was your answer, Eden?
I didn't have an answer. I don't like that question.
I
Why?
reject the question.
I
haven't even read this one yet, so we're all gonna.
I can do
it
this.
together, so.
Hopefully this is a better question.
Yeah. You can create the perfect playlist that adapts to every mood and moment for the rest of your life. But you'll never be able to share it with anyone or talk about your music preferences again. Do you take the perfect tunes for yourself or keep the option to share and connect with others through music?
This is like the same question.
I know.
I think I would still keep it for myself. Music's a big deal to me.
It's not a big deal to me.
Me either. I'd rather just listen to podcasts all day.
You guys are.
So we'd be like the best
me-
DJs of all time?
Let me tell you.
I don't like you
And
guys.
she would have the
anymore.
best playlist of all time that we put together for her because
You
we're the
would
best
be the
DJs
best
of all time?
DJs. You wouldn't have the best playlist. You wouldn't have that sense, I guess.
That's what a DJ is for the most part.
Yeah.
I will say when it comes to questions like this, I don't think people really like me because I never really answer questions directly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys aren't like this or that.
I'm not a direct. I don't not intentionally, but I always find like the loopholes or the outside of the box things, and so I'm not real like.
I'm pretty direct. I can
Direct
pretty much answer yes or
answer.
no, but I just don't like these questions.
I just love music so much that I'd be like, I'm so
You would-
split on
you'd
this
be
one.
like-
At
her.
first I was
You'd
like, yeah.
want it for yourself.
I would, but then like a huge part is sharing things
Yeah,
with
because
people.
me and
Like,
Aaron share our music
you
with each other all the
connect
time.
with people on a deeper level, but then you wouldn't have
See,
the
and to
thing
me, this doesn't
connect
make
over.
sense because if everybody hid their own music, then none of it's ever getting shared, and then you wouldn't know
Yeah.
other people's music.
So not everyone
But
can
it's just
have this
you.
moral dilemma.
I think he just got really scared.
Celeste, do you have any scary stories about painting
Flowers.
flowers? No, do you have any stories about like
Do you
couples
make
that were like,
Halloween flowers?
nope, right before you had to give them their stuff or any
Man.
Wait, what? No.
Like
You had
any
nobody
that
ba-
had
like-
back out.
Photos.
back out?
No.
No, not from you, but like from each other. Like
Wait, what?
like
Like
we're
people
getting
that
married.
decided
All
not to
right,
get
here's your
married.
flowers. We're not getting married anymore.
Oh.
And then you got
did
your hands
people
full.
cancel? Yeah. I had one cancel, like way in advance, and then I have a quote that's been out, and I asked. She just said that they're not having a wedding anymore. So I mean, things happen. But for me, I'm just like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Like, I wish you the best because in
Yeah.
my mind, I'm like, sounds like that's probably the best.
Yeah.
Same thing with funerals too, huh? If like a funeral
they
gets
cancel the
canceled,
funeral?
they're not gonna die.
I don't think that happens.
They're back.
Turns out we were wrong. Do you do Halloween stuff with the flowers?
Yeah, I'm not that great with Halloween. It's not a very like. Okay, let's start over.
Morally
Seasonal
occasion.
isn't. I don't know why seasonal isn't like poppin'. And I don't know if it's because people have to store it away and so they don't want to, or they already have a whole bunch of stuff they buy. Like, I don't know.
I would
I've had
get a
fall
Halloween
stuff out
bouquet.
for about 3 weeks now, and I think I'm not sure if we sold any.
Okay, I have a question. I have been on the hunt for like the perfect garland. I have a really pretty staircase.
Yeah.
Could you do
Yes.
garland for me? Okay.
Yes.
You
Well-
might be the answer to I've been looking for good garland for 4 years now and it's all that
Garlands are so expensive.
well, okay, yes, for the really good kind. So that's a bummer. But for the cheap kind, the worst. They look cheap. They don't bend the way you want them to. They just look like a disaster. So I want to send you a picture of my staircase.
So
and
people
see what
send
you
me
can do.
photos of their houses, their carpets, their walls, their offices. They send me. all
This
the
is
things.
exciting. I've been on the hunt for, and I'm just like, wow, because these are
I
soft. They would
exist.
move. I think you might be the answer to.
Yeah, it would cost quite a bit, but it would be nice. You can keep them forever. And we could add
Yeah,
like
right?
I've done
Keep it
some
forever.
where I add
an
like the
investment.
ornaments in, and if we want lights, we can add lights in, and we can add the flowers.
Oh,
like
fun.
there's really pretty.
Like, okay.
It's exciting.
So what? Okay, if someone is watching who's thinking about starting a business like this, what advice would you give them?
Join a lot of groups, learn a lot, ask questions. I believe in competition with yourself. I don't really believe in competition with others. I think there's opportunity for everybody in all things. And so, like, if you have a question, ask me and I'll tell you.
It's really nice of you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we just said, like, people don't even know I exist here. Think about, like, people don't even know we exist. The woodflower florists that I do know that don't even people know we exist in the world. Like, it's just, oh, on a side note. So if you Google Sola Wood Flowers, the company Sola Wood Flowers will come up. And they are not a really good company.
Oh.
And so a lot
we
of
have
the a lot of the times that people first find or look into these, they have bad experiences.
What's wrong with them?
The company, it's just not quality flowers, and the company
affordable. Their name is literally like affordable.
Literally, they always have
wedding
90% off, so you could get a bridal bouquet for like $30.
No,
But
okay. Well, I
lot of
wouldn't
the-
trust that if it was $30.
Well, a lot of the times, there's issues, and they're torn, or the wrong colors, or they're not as big. Like, I have fixed a multitude. The one I said I'm making in Cascade today, she got those flowers, and now she's coming back to me. You know what I mean? So like,
It's like Timu.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't order, but like,
Yeah, me neither.
it's just really hard
69% off.
because they give us a bad rap when there's wood flower florists out there who
Yeah.
do really quality work.
Yeah.
And so I think one of the other big things I hear is, one, I hear like, oh, these are so beautiful. They look so real. I thought they were real. And then the second thing is, I've seen these, but not like this, because I'm very, very,
You care.
I'm very, very different. Like, I'm very, like, wasn't trying to be bossy, but I'm like, yeah, pull the torn petals, like, make them pretty, make sure they're fully
Looks
covered.
great.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to make sure
Look at
that they're
mine.
good in quality. Good quality flowers.
hard. It's harder than it looks, and it is soft. It's like it's not the wood you're thinking of.
Soft now.
It's
Oh, it's always soft.
But it's not wood. It's wood, but it's not wood. Bendy,
They're bendy.
flexible.
How many hours a week did you say that you like work?
A lot.
Like
I'm a
too many?
worker, so like if I'm not working, I'm like, I need to be working on something.
How do you deal with like
Like,
you
how
work
do you-
at home? How do
I
you
work all the
separate
time.
that?
Even if I wasn't working at home, I would still bring work home. Like, I work. I'm a worker, and I like working. I feel weird when I'm not working. There's a lot of times where I'm like, oh, I need a day off, or I'm like, I don't have days off. I just want a day off. But I can only have one day off, because if there's more than that, I'm like, oh, I'm useless. Like, this is weird. Like, this is,
Yeah.
I don't like it.
So how do you balance the rest of your life with work then?
My husband helps me a lot. He is my biggest like supporter. Helps me so much. I have a son. He helps me a lot with our son. He does a lot. He does a lot really just to support me, because I feel like you get in your, like, you just have so much going on. Yeah, he's my, like, the rock behind it. If there was ever a day where he said, I don't want you to do this anymore, I would quit.
That was big.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel I get it.
If there was, if there
I
was
get it.
ever a day where he's like, I don't want this for our life anymore, I'd be like, okay,
It's me or the
quit.
flowers.
I quit. Because really, essentially, what I do is for our family.
Yeah.
You know, I've been very grind, so I feel like my son didn't get as much of me, but it's because I know that we're gonna have a bigger family, and I want to, all that's gonna come back to the rest. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all gonna come back to like, now we're home a lot more with all of our other kids, and you'll have it, and my son will see it too, but you got to put in the grind before it. And so you got to make your sacrifices, and there's seasons in your life and times in your life, work, career, lifestyle, relationships, where you're always going to be like, there's no such thing as balance. You just kind of manage and change and shift.
What's your favorite flower?
I don't have one.
They're all your
Again, with the
favorite.
not answering
I
the
don't
question.
have a
Okay.
favorite. I don't have favorite music. I don't have a favorite color.
If
I
you
don't have
had
a
to
favorite
pick
nothing.
one, you can only make one flower forever. You have to pick one.
She did not like that.
I wouldn't. If I had to make one flower forever, I wouldn't do it.
I just want you to pick one.
I wouldn't do it. I'm sorry. I wouldn't. Like, why? Like I said, I don't ever want to be where I'm not growing and
She
learning.
loves them all.
So why would I? Not even just about the flowers. If I'm not growing and learning and I'm doing the same thing over and over again, I don't want to do that.
Okay, what's your favorite flower on this table right now?
Oh man, I brought you a lot of my favorites. So I do like the hydrangeas because I manipulate these a lot. I can use them to make violets, forget-me-nots, hydrangeas. There's some flowers, like these flowers you buy and they have names, and some of them are not real in real life. So when people want a specific flower, I'll manipulate them to be that way. And so like those I'll change. So
That's awesome.
if I had to pick from the ones here, the hydrangeas.
Are hydrangeas always that small?
Yeah.
I don't really know.
Sometimes it might be a little smaller. I mean, they're actually smaller in real life. That's the
Oh.
only other problem is like if some people really want specific flowers and they're like larkspur or delphinium, they're like the ones that kind of go out
Yeah.
a little and go up. Like I can't do those in wood flowers. Like bummer, I have to get artificial, and then there's no good artificial that look good. So
Maybe that's the next thing. You figure out how to make those.
Yeah,
I don't make them, and
painting
I'm not
artificial.
gonna make them. There are things I don't want to do. Like I don't want to make the flowers. Like there are other wood flower florists who will make their own flowers, and I don't want to.
Wow. That
Yeah.
sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, that would be a lot.
We appreciate you being here today.
Yeah.
This has been
Thank
so
you.
good.
Thanks for
She's
letting us
always-
paint stuff.
Good at giving the instruction for that camera.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I forgot.
No, I
completely
wasn't
forgot.
going to do it because that's your job.
Okay, now is the time where you look at that camera over there and you
Okay,
tell
this
people
far away.
where to find you, what you do, why they would find you.
Something we didn't talk about, but I'll let you know. My name is Celeste. I am the owner of Heavenly Sola Designs. We specialize in wood flowers, anything custom, anything floral, weddings, events, celebrations, decor, all the things, anything floral. I am located in Lubbock. I do work out of my home, so I do have people that come and find me. I am on Google, but I also have a mobile flower trailer. It's my purple trailer. We built it, so beautiful. You'll find us at pop-ups. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Google, website. Everything is Heavenly Sola Designs.
Yay. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
This was fun.
I'm glad you didn't ask me for a joke.
Thanks for watching this episode of the Stay Focused podcast.
You can find more episodes wherever you listen to podcasts.
Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you want more bonus content, you can join our Patreon.
Remember that your story matters, so stay focused.
Okay, I'll do one. What do you call a sleepwalking nun?
I don't know, but I feel like I've heard you say this.
A
before.
Roman Catholic.
Good job.
Okay.
It was good.